So I am super excited to talk about how much I love wrestling in this video because I love wrestling so much. It's been with me ever since I was a little kid, and I can honestly go hours and hours on end talking about how much I love wrestling. And I'm going to be talking about one promotion because it's the connection that I had with wrestling the most, and that promotion is WWE. I've been watching WWE ever since I was a little kid. Like, ever since, I was a little guy, I've just been watching wrestling ever since then, and then all the way up until how old I am now. I'm still watching it, and I absolutely love it. I understand that it's scripted, things that happen aren't real, but that's not the reason why I watch wrestling. I watch wrestling because of how much it captures you, how much it brings you in, the storytelling, the characters that you get to see each week. Honestly, like I said, so excited to talk about it. And the way that I got into wrestling, it's kind of similar when it came to how I spoke about the other day of how I got into horror, except this time it's not my father, it's actually my mother. Because my mother originally got into wrestling when she was watching it with my grandpa, and she used to, sit on his lap each night, watching a whole bunch of wrestling matches back then. It was probably like a lot different than how it was for me now. She was probably watching it back then when you had HBK out there, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, you had The Rock there, Mankind, Undertaker, etc. so on. She pretty much grew up in that era. That was her, life of wrestling, growing up with like all those different kinds of people. And then as I was born, a little bit later into my life, she introduced me into the product. I watched it with her every single week. I became a huge fan. And my era consisted with superstars like John Cena, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Edge, people like that you guys probably know who they are. That's the era that I grew up in. And there's just so many memories that I can recall, watching wrestling growing up, like, seeing John Cena, up against all these obstacles, the once in a lifetime match with John Cena, seeing John Cena and Randy Orton's rivalry, just so many memorable moments like growing up watching wrestling. And I just absolutely love it like so much. And I still watch it to this day, obviously, and it's probably going to be a part of me for the rest of my life because I love it so much. And eventually, when the time comes when I have kids, they'll probably end up getting into it as well because, it's always something that happens. It's like if you grew up watching something, or if you were into like playing a certain game when you were younger, or if you were like, playing with wrestlers and Ninja Turtles, whatever, your kids end up picking up those habits like later on in your life. And I definitely feel like whenever I have kids, they'll more than likely gonna pick up on wrestling and probably watch it with me each week when there's like a Raw, a SmackDown, an NXT, or whenever a PLE is out. And yeah, I just love wrestling. I just love it so much. I haven't been to like a live event for like quite some time, but I definitely want to go again. I definitely want to go to a Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, a pay-per-view. Tickets can be expensive, but I got to really figure out exactly how I'm going to structure that so I can be there and actually have fun, because I really want to feel the atmosphere. Like when I was a little kid, I went, but I don't really remember how it felt, but I really want to feel the atmosphere because I always hear from like millions and millions of people that the atmosphere when you're there experiencing everything goes on, it's like unreal. It's like a moment that you gotta be there, where like just captures you, if you get what I mean. It just brings you in there and it feels like you're there experiencing the entire thing. And I eventually want to feel moments like that. Like one of my friends from work, he recently went to a SmackDown, and when he came to me that time when I saw him again at work, and he's like, dude, I want to go again. Like, it's just so awesome. Like, I eventually want to feel that. Like, I eventually want to go to another live event because I just want to feel that atmosphere, because that's just the magic about wrestling. They just bring you into like a whole nother world, and it's just crazy and mind-blowing, the kinds of things that they do. I absolutely love the era that we're in with wrestling, especially of Triple H taking over, because he has huge plans for the product. He visions a bunch of things that he wants to do with WWE, and I absolutely love what he's doing so far. I mean, WrestleMania 40 is honestly probably like one of the best WrestleManias that I've seen in a long time. That moment with Cody finally finishing his story, that's going to be a memorable moment. That's going to be something that you're going to look back at for a lifetime, especially the match that him and Roman Reigns had at WrestleMania 40, ending Roman Reigns' 1,316-day run, a run that you're probably not going to see again for quite some time. Like when you had Hulk Hogan around and Bruno Sammartino, all those champions back then, like you just never really see it. But bringing it back in like a modern era, it's just a really cool thing to see, and just seeing it end right in front of your eyes on like one of the biggest shows of the year, it's just a crazy thing to see. And I'm gonna name off like a few of my favorite wrestlers that I really do like, that I can think of at the top of my head. I'll probably do like a top 5 when it comes like top 5 favorite male, top 5 favorite females. So starting off with the guys, I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes. I love LA Knight. I love Randy Orton. I love Seth Rollins, and I also love Roman Reigns. And I obviously have other ones as well, but those are just the 5 that I decided to choose. And when it comes to the girls, I love Bayley. Huge fan of Bayley. Love her so much. I love Asuka. I love Io. I also love Bianca Belair. I love, Roxanne Perez. I'm honestly going off the top 5 that I was chosen. There's just so many great competitors out there when it comes to the male and female, talent, after all these other people that we see now, like Cody and Seth and Roman, and all of them, eventually move on and retire. They have a bright future ahead of them. You got superstars like Carmelo Hayes, Bron Breakker, Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez, Lyra Valkyria. You have like so many future stars that they're molding in front of your eyes, that you're eventually going to see and look at them and they're like, oh my God, wow, look at where they are now, just looking back at how they were back then all the way up until this point. It's just a crazy feeling. And yeah, dude, wrestling is just really awesome to watch, especially since like I've been a fan of it for so long, and also since like I have a close relationship with it when it comes to my family. Like we just sit down and watch it every Monday and Friday night, and whenever a pay-per-view comes on a Saturday. It's such a memorable experience, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to just sit down with you, talk to you real quick, explaining how I got into wrestling, what my favorite wrestlers are, and just how much it means to me. You probably could tell just based off of the energy that I'm giving you guys in this video. I just love wrestling so much. I'll probably talk about it every so often on this channel, but as I stated before on my first video, I just want all the videos that I put out on my channel to be for you guys, so you know exactly what kind of things that I'm into, so you guys know what to expect when you come onto this channel. So if I ever have a live stream and you want to talk about it with me about a certain thing or whatever, we can talk about it, so you guys know, oh hey, he's into that, that's pretty cool, we could have a conversation about it. So there's gonna be like a lot of videos that you guys are gonna see that are similar to this in like the near future. But that's all I'm gonna really say for this video. So if you guys have any thoughts, like are you guys fans of wrestling, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you guys have any memorable experiences that you want to share in the comments. Just let me know everything in the comment section down below. And also, if you guys want to follow me on my social media so you're up to date with me when I'm not posting on YouTube, make sure to do so in the description below. And I hope all of you guys have a fantastic day where you guys are, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.